listen to this.
Greetings to everyone. Today we gather here to nourish wisdom within the mind, the life element that has no form, that is empty, clear and pure, the original essence from which we all arise. Within each of us already lies something supremely noble and profound, yet we continue to search for it externally. We don't turn inward, back against the stream, to realize the truth within ourselves. And because we don't see this truth, we remain caught in the cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death. We've changed vessels many times, but once this body stops functioning, the mind, or rather, the life element, continues. It is the immortal essence that has never died, never been bound to this body. It is the original element, unmoving, unarriving, undeparting, unborn, undying. It transcends time and distance. It is utterly clear and perfectly pure. We can grasp this simply by erasing everything. Erase darkness, erase light, erase all forms of energy, remove stars, suns, black holes, even particles of dust. Let it all go. What remains is this clear, pure emptiness. And from there, we begin to get a sense of how pure and formless it truly is. The word empty refers to the absence of any object, yet it points to a foundational presence, the original element. No one has ever taught us about this essence. It cannot be explained through mental fabrication. It can only be realized by reversing the current and awakening. And once we awaken, we'll see that nothing we cling to is truly the original element. Everything else is merely external fabrications. For instance, in the clear empty space right before us, what we cannot grasp with our hands, doesn't air exist there? Visualize it now, the air before us. It's made up of oxygen, carbon dioxide, whether it's clean or polluted, cool or warm. This air exists within that clear emptiness. Darkness exists within it. Light exists within it. The air moves, but this pure empty space remains unmoving. Can you picture this? Once we understand this natural principle, we'll understand the nature of the mind, of the life element that is formless, empty, and pure. Once we recognize our true origin, we'll stop clinging to all these things we now hold on to. Clinging that brings suffering. We cling to what was never truly ours. Then we fabricate and shape these things to be me or mine. For example, we cling to the emotion of happiness. Think of a time you felt joy. Have we ever really observed this? When we feel happiness, do we think the emotion actually has a self, a substance? It's merely a phenomenon, like a field of energy, electric waves, magnetic currents. It has no real form, right? Happiness has no true essence, no self, yet we cling to it, we crave it. How deeply lost in delusion have we become? Happiness has no true form, yet we cling to it, we crave it. Now take suffering, emotions like anger, frustration, sadness, dissatisfaction, depression, grief. Ask yourself, does suffering have a true form? Does it have a self? Joy and sorrow are made of the same substance. They are just emotions. We all want happiness and try to avoid suffering. What we really want is to possess pleasant feelings. But let's ask a simple question. Does suffering truly have a self, a real existence? If it doesn't, then why do we get so deeply absorbed in it? Why is it that such a simple truth is so hard to see? It's because no one has ever pointed it out or taught us. In truth, all we need is to grasp the principle, to study the nature of the mind, to understand the science of knowing the mind clearly. By observing these conditions, these mental states, we begin to learn about the mind. Just like learning about the sun, we learn not the sun itself, but its manifestations, such as electromagnetic waves and magnetic fields that radiate outward. These are not the sun itself. They are simply phenomena. They are the activities, the effects arising from the sun. Whether these effects surge outward in one way or another is entirely their own matter. The sun is not involved. Whether the brightness radiates more or less, whether the heat flares stronger or weaker, these are only the expressions, not the sun itself. Do you see? The sun is the origin, the primal element. It gives rise to certain manifestations, electromagnetic fields, gravitational force, light and heat. However they arise, they are just that, manifestations. The sun itself remains untouched. Now imagine if the sun were to become concerned. Why is my light so dim today? Why don't I shine brighter? Why is my heat not radiating as much? My magnetic fields aren't strong enough. This isn't right. That would mean the sun has become deluded, clinging to its manifestations. Can you picture that? If the sun were to behave this way, it would be entangled in delusion, mistaking its effects for itself. It would become confused by its own manifestations, light and heat. But these are not the sun. They are just expressions, phenomena, bursts of energy arising from the sun. These are natural qualities. When there is a sun, such qualities arise. The sun doesn't need to interfere or identify with them. If it does, it is no longer wise. It becomes entangled in what is not truly itself. Light and heat are merely its expressions, not its essence. They are movements, phenomena, waves of energy. When the sun is present, they naturally follow. Now let us come back to understanding the mind. I offer these metaphors to help you form a clear picture so that you may grasp what the mind truly is. The mind has no shape or form, and without a guiding analogy, it's not easy to comprehend. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible because no one in this world has ever clearly explained it to us. That's why I must explain it in a way that allows you to understand with ease. This is the goal, because once you understand the nature of mind, if you can envision how it works, you will be able to realize it directly. And once that realization occurs, suffering will never return. Would you like to be completely free from suffering? You already have a mind, a life element that is formless, pure and luminous, yet you do not truly know it. Isn't that a pity? And that's the reason why we continue to wander endlessly in the cycle of birth and death. No matter where we're born, we become attached to the same old things. Whether we are young or old, disabled or healthy, male or female, of any religion, any nation, or any race, everyone can hear and understand the teachings about the mind. Even a pregnant mother, if she listens often, the child within her womb will also hear and begin to absorb this understanding. When we realize the truth of the mind, this life element, we will be free from suffering completely. And something extraordinary will happen. Tears will flow uncontrollably. You will come to see that you've never actually been born into this world. You will realize that you are one with the clear, empty space right before you, and that your being merges with the vast emptiness of the entire universe. You will understand all things, and you will see clearly that all the suffering you've ever felt never truly had any real existence. It's as if we're beginning to realize the masks we've been wearing. We wear the mask of being a man. We wear the mask of being a woman. We even wear masks with names and surnames. We wear the mask of being human. We wear the mask that says we must struggle and work to chase after paper. We call it money. We fully immerse ourselves in these roles, playing the role of parents and children, the role of office workers, the role of monks, the role of street vendors, the role of farmers. We play the role of good people and bad people, of police and soldiers. We're all wearing masks and playing our roles as if they were real, and we play them with deep suffering or with intense joy. We play the role of a good person, the role of a bad person, even the role of someone practicing not to suffer. We are all wearing masks playing different roles. And when one role dies, we simply switch masks and take on another, becoming an animal, a creature of the sea, of the land, of the underground, or of the sky. We dive into each role with such seriousness, unaware of the illusion. But one day, when we finally awaken, we'll realize, wait, I've been wearing these masks for so long. That's enough. I'm done. I won't play this game anymore. We'll no longer act out these identities. We'll live at ease without clinging to the roles we've assumed, because none of them were ever real. They never truly existed. And the moment we see this truth clearly, we'll be free from all the roles we've been acting out, like the role of someone endlessly struggling from morning until night, just to survive, just to gather paper. We've been chasing all this from the moment we wake until the moment we sleep, struggling like this for decades, even up to age 80, struggling to find food, to collect paper, flaunting our status and power, consuming and being consumed, destroying and being destroyed. When someone harms us, mocks us, we suffer, we cry. We fully inhabit the role of the one who suffers. Then when we gain power, we turn around and destroy others. We use money to buy whatever we desire, trampling over others to get it. They hurt, they suffer, they hate us. We hate them back. It goes on and on. When this body dies, we simply take on a new mask, play a new role, becoming another creature. We are born again only to continue acting in this theater of masks. But if anyone truly sees this, realizes, is this really all I was born for, just to be lost in all this? They'll see how meaningless it all is. And the moment we awaken from this grand stage of masks and make-believe, we become free. We'll laugh at this world, seeing how everyone is caught up in the container they dwell in. Just a mask. It's as if we've worn a costume, but it doesn't last. This puppet-like body, this robot shell, doesn't last long. And when it dies, we go find another one. But in truth, we were never truly connected to this container at all. When this robotic container is finally burned into ashes and dust, we go looking for a new one. And once we find it, we rejoice, just like before, ready to wear the mask and step into yet another role. From the moment we wake until the moment we sleep, we struggle, chasing after paper, after food, trying to keep this robotic container functioning so it can continue working. All just to earn paper, to exchange that paper for food, and then go to sleep, only to repeat the cycle all over again. We live trapped in this grand theatre, this prison of roles. Very few begin to awaken from it, but I'm here to help you wake up from this fabricated world and step into what's real. We've been caught in this world of illusions, this world of convention. We believe in these conventions. We even believe in names. But do you know this? The mind can never be a human. It has never been male or female. It can take on the costume of an animal too. This mind, this life element, it is pure and luminous beyond comprehension. The only knowledge we truly need in this life is to know this, that we are this pure element, that we are the eternal element, unborn, undying, blended seamlessly with the universe itself. We are the formless life element, that's all. And yet, what have we been chasing all along? When we realize this truth, tears fall. All we ever wanted was to remember what we are, just that. But instead, we've lived in ignorance. We've never known. And so now I speak of this ignorance in words that human beings can understand. In truth, we have never been human. We only thought we were. What we are is the element of purity itself, blended with all things. We are not anything. Do you see? I've turned against the current to realize this pure element, not by running outward, but by observing inward. I saw that the voice speaking within is not me. The mental images are not me. The emotions that arise are not me. The sensations of knowing are not me. I kept watching quietly, and then this life element, the mind, began to see the truth. Wait, it thinks on its own, and tears fell. It imagines on its own, feels on its own. All these functions just arise and dissolve by themselves. Everything, this knowing, this hearing, this perceiving, this smelling, this understanding, they're all just happening by themselves. And in that moment of seeing clearly, where is the self? A knowing arose from deep within. It saw everything with stunning clarity, every single thing. What you're sensing as this subtle ripple, it surges forth as voice, just like the energy radiating from the sun. It radiates as electromagnetic fields, as heat, as light, as gravity. It pulses outward. This energy naturally emits from its source. These radiations are simply its qualities, its natural characteristics. Do you see? Our pure element, what we truly are, is the mind, a supremely refined and pure element. This element is so clear, so untainted, that it merges with all things, like the transparent emptiness right before us. You can't hold it, can't grasp it. Yet within this empty clarity, all things dwell: air, matter, darkness, light. But this empty clarity itself never clings to any of them. We've become lost in the things that arise within this pure space. We've become attached to the body, even though the body merely resides within that clear space. Sound, mental imagery, emotions, and knowing all arise within that same emptiness. They emerge from it, yet we've mistaken them for ourselves. We've forgotten that what we truly are is the pure, luminous emptiness itself. This pure element, our true essence, has only been waiting to be discovered. But we've never known. We've never realized that we are this supremely pure, formless element. The pure element naturally gives rise to its own expressions, what we might call the mind's activity or the manifestations of the pure essence. And this essence is alive. We are that life element, so pure, so subtle. The qualities of this pure life element include the continual release of energy streaming out from the core. I'll call it radiating for ease of language. You can also call it the activity of mind, or the behavior of consciousness, or simply the natural expressions of the mind. Where there is mind, these characteristics naturally appear. This nature can be understood through direct awareness, through learning by observing the arising of these manifestations. First, we learn from emotional formation. When mental energy stirs and produces feeling tones, we see it as a characteristic, an energetic expression radiating outward. These energies might be described as light or dark, positive or negative, but they all stream from the pure essence. This is the nature of the pure element, forever expressing its qualities. You might label them as electrons, protons, neutrons, or call them rays, but truly they are nameless. They are just pure energetic phenomena working in tandem with this supremely refined element. You could call them radiation, but in truth, they have no fixed identity. Let's simply call them manifestations, qualities, radiant energies surrounding the pure, luminous core. I'll call it radiation for now, but don't cling to that word. It's just a label. In truth, it has no name. Nothing in this world truly has a name. I'm simply using this voice to speak with you, but don't assume that this voice has a self. Tell me, does the voice that speaks truly have a self? It doesn't. It has no form, and that's precisely what this is. Energy radiating from the pure element. We are that pure element, so pure, so refined, so clear, that it merges with everything. It is empty, it is luminous, it is utterly pure, and this element is always real, always expressing truth. But we don't see it, simply because no one ever told us. I turned against the current and came to realize the pure element. And on the day of realization, everything I once relied on shattered completely, like the entire universe had exploded into pieces. That kind of knowing, when it arises, reveals this. We had been dwelling in the dimension of form, in a dimension of fabrication and appearance, made of matter and structure. This body is just that, form, structure, material. We became attached to such coarse things. But what we really are is the 0-point element, the element of zero, the origin point that is always zero, pure, formless, untouched. That's what we truly are. Yet we became entangled in dimensions, entangled in the form of the body, in the three-dimensional world. And we didn't stop there. We got caught in the dimension of time, in the illusion of distance, in the intricacies of mental fabrication. Even sound, yes, sound itself, is part of the fabricated dimension. We became lost in these dimensions: sound, image, emotion, knowing, memory. All of these are subtle fabrications, and yet all of them arose from the primal element. Understand this. This is not a difficult subject. It's simple. It's time to come home, to return and recognize your own life element, your clear, pure, original nature. And when you do, you'll understand everything, and you will no longer suffer. Why should we suffer anymore? The emotion we call suffering has no true self. Even the voice that speaks has no true self. It's just a tool for communication within this dimensional world. This is a world of fabrication. We've come to dwell in it, and so we rely on this language to communicate. But in truth, these things exist only as tools. The ultimate reality of who we are is the life element, pure, luminous, eternal. We must return to the life element by clearly seeing that all these things are external, not who we are. None of them, not a single one, is truly us or ours. Tell me, do you think this universe belongs to you? Of course not. This universe isn't ours, and the infinite cosmos, that's not ours either, right? So this solar system, does it belong to us? Number. Understand this, all of it is nature. It doesn't belong to anyone. Don't be foolish enough to cling to it. This world, it too, is nature. It doesn't belong to anyone. It's not our world. Let me speak plainly. Can we handle the truth? Or do we only like illusions, like living in fiction and make-believe? Because the truth is, we don't know. We're lost in a world built on what we don't know. We live in a world that's like a simulation. Though if I call it that, people might say it's too scientific, too strange. But in truth, we've become attached to what was never ours to begin with. So now let's come back. This world, it's just nature, right? Do you understand the word nature? Everything is simply nature being the way it is. There is no owner. No one owns this world. Once you understand that everything is nature, it becomes simple. The earth just spins. It changes. It shifts. That's its nature. No one owns this planet. It's not us. It's not ours. Now let's zoom in. Even the house we live in this country, is just something we agreed to name. It's a convention. Nature itself is just soil, trees, water, and air. Nature exists as it is. It can't belong to anyone. Do you understand this part? The earth is just the earth. No one owns it. Mental images, trees, animals, even the bodies of living beings, all of it is nature. The body of a human or animal is born to eventually fall apart. This house, it was built out of nature, out of soil, water, and matter shaped into form. These things are just nature, formed and assembled. And no one owns nature. It simply functions as it does. Can we see this truth? That none of it is us, none of it is ours. I've made it clear there is no such thing as our country. What truly exists is only earth, water, air, fire, and space, elements of nature. There are beings, there are living things, and they all simply follow their natural course. None of this is us. None of it belongs to us. We've fabricated the idea of ownership ourselves, and then we get lost in the very illusions we've created. We invent boundaries, create territories, define lands and empires, and then we fight over them, kill one another to defend them, as if they're real possessions. But all along, these things are just nature. It's as if we've claimed, this is my universe. If anyone crosses into my realm, I'll destroy them. But there is no such thing as my universe. Nothing belongs to anyone. Everything is just nature. If you can see this, truly see it, then rejoice. But if you still can't grasp this truth, still holding tightly to the idea that everything is me or mine, then you'll never understand the mind. Remember this, we can only realize the pure element when we stop clinging to anything at all. Only then does the purely refined nature of mind remain. Do you understand what pure means? It is complete. It lacks nothing. It requires no fabrication, not even the smallest ripple of movement. The pure mind, the pure life element, wants nothing. It is untouched, unshaken. So if we want to realize this purity, we must first see clearly that everything is nature. Nothing is us. Nothing is ours. Even this voice that speaks, it's not our voice. Even this understanding, it's not our understanding. We must pull back that far. When we can see that this land, this very earth, is just nature, and that no one truly owns it, then we begin to understand. This house, it's nature too. It has no real owner. It will fall apart eventually. This body, it too will break down. It doesn't last long. It's nature. Now look around at the bodies of those we live with. Every one of them is just a vessel, a robotic container. These bodies we live among, each one is just a natural form. They will age. They will grow weak. Soon they'll be overwhelmed with illnesses, because that's what happens when things decay. Just like a car that rusts from daily use, it wears down, breaks apart, and eventually stops working. That's its nature. This robot body is the same. All these robot bodies around us, they're gradually aging, deteriorating, falling apart. The vessels we inhabit are breaking down, and eventually they'll stop functioning altogether. One thing is certain, they are not ours. We are simply borrowing the bodies of others. They're not our possession. Can we accept this truth? Please, let yourselves accept it. I am speaking only of the truth. If we truly understand the nature of things, we won't suffer over anything. The nature of animals is to consume one another. This is just nature, isn't it? The nature of humans is to destroy one another, back and forth. That too is nature. These robot bodies keep clinging to the idea of mine, but if they ever realize that nothing belongs to them, they will no longer suffer. Now let's turn inward again. Let's see this body for what it really is, just a container, a robot vessel that continues to decay. It rusts. It breaks down bit by bit, and this body, the one we're so attached to, the one we keep calling ours, it too will stop working. So where is the self then? If it's not this body, not this container, then where? Can you begin to accept the truth now? I'm showing you the reality of nature, that nothing in this natural world is truly us or ours. Let's retreat from the outer world and return inward, deeply. I'm guiding you home. We've been lost in outer things, clinging to what's not ours. It's time to come back. All you need to do is observe inwardly. Keep listening. Keep following with your heart. I will continue pointing you toward the truth. This body is not our body. It came into being to break down. It is made of the same elements as this earth. It is a robot container, destined to rust, to wear down, and to fall apart. And when it is burned, what remains is nothing but ash, no form, no identity. So why suffer over this body? It was never truly ours. Now let's talk about emotions, the expressions of the mind, and then we'll move deeper into the nature of the mind itself. The mind is within. What I'm doing is guiding you back to the true origin. We could call it the seed of life, like the seed inside a fruit. You are not the outer skin of the fruit. Imagine a tough-skinned fruit. You are not that beautiful protective shell, no matter how shiny or colorful it may seem. That shell must be peeled away. Then you'll reach the flesh of the fruit, rich, flavorful, full of sensation. But even that is not you. You must let it go too. But most of us don't. We cling to both the skin and the flesh. We want to keep it all. But remember, the skin cannot grow into a tree. The flesh cannot become a tree. It's only pulp. It's not the life element. It is not the seed of life. Only the seed can become a tree. When the seed is placed in the right environment, moist, fertile soil, it sprouts, and from that small seed, a mighty tree grows, giving flowers and fruits, nourishing the world and all living beings. Everything was contained in that little seed. That seed is the origin. It created the flesh to protect itself. It created the skin to wrap around it. Then it created leaves, branches, the trunk, and the roots. A vast tree was born from a single point. Do you understand now what the original element is? We are that element, the source, the seed of life itself. Let this image settle in your mind. But remember, don't cling to it. Don't take it literally. I'm using language to communicate. It's just a way to help you understand. Don't grasp onto this voice either. It's not your voice. See this clearly. Now, when you realize that this body, this vessel, is surely going to die, that it won't last long, don't be foolish enough to suffer over it. You don't need to. Just understand it. Understand the nature of things, and you will no longer suffer from them. We don't cling to nature, just like oxygen, carbon dioxide, cool air, warm air. These pass through the space around us. They dwell in that clear emptiness, but they are not us. We are the clear, open space itself. When you truly see that this body is just nature, that it must age, decay, and dissolve, you'll understand how natural it all is. The body will wither. It will grow old. It will die. But none of that has anything to do with you. It's not yours. Nothing is. Write it down. Stick it on your wall. There is nothing that is me. Nothing that is mine. This is a truth you may have never heard before, but let it reach you. Don't memorize it. Don't overthink it. I'm not here to fill your mind with thoughts. I'm pointing so you may incline your heart toward understanding. And the moment your mind accepts this truth, it will break free. In that instant, it will feel as if the universe itself shatters before your eyes, before your heart. The identity you've always carried, that you are human, will dissolve completely. What will remain is something unspeakably pure, so refined that tears will fall from your eyes without warning. I have realized this truth, and after that, there was no more doubt. When you see clearly that you are not connected to anything at all, you'll know that you are the pure element itself. You're not a man or a woman. The mind, the true essence, has never been male or female. It has no age. It has no size. It has never been fat or thin. It has never been rich or poor. It has never experienced happiness or suffering. These things do not apply to the mind. Please understand this clearly. The mind has never been human. The mind can never become human. But we have fallen into the delusion that it is me. It's time to wake up. It's time to come home. I've told you, this body is not ours. So now let's look at emotions. They arise from thinking, from mental fabrication. But let's step back even further and start with sound. Sound is one of the expressions, one of the movements of the pure element, the mind. The nature of this pure element is that it has manifestations, it has characteristics, and what we truly are is that pure element, truly pure. So pure, I don't even know how to say it in a way humans can grasp. I can only say it is pure, it is luminous, it merges with the entire universe. We are that element, and that element is not anything at all. It is not a thing. It never has been. I am using this voice to communicate, but the pure element does not rely on this voice at all. They are entirely separate. This voice is just like air that moves in various ways. That moving air exists within a clear, empty space. And yet that clear emptiness is not the air itself. The clear space allows air to exist and move through it, to be used for communication. But the movement of air is not the same as the clear emptiness. Do you see? The clear space and the air exist together, but they are unrelated. Within this transparent, empty space before us, untouchable by the hand, there exist sound waves. There are vibrations in the air. There is cool air, warm air, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. There are gusts of wind, storms, and gentle breezes. There are telephone signals, microwave frequencies, sonic waves, whatever they may be. All of these dwell within this clear, empty space, and yet this clarity itself is not connected to any of them. They exist in a different dimension. Do you understand? Speaking in terms of dimensions, our mind is of a zero dimension. It is the zero element. It is untouched by fabrication. It is utterly pure, completely still. Our true mind cannot move. The essence of the mind, the true element, is one and the same with the whole universe. And in this universe there is actually nothing. No stars, no sun, no black holes. Not even darkness or light exists within it. There is only clarity, pure, empty clarity. It is the totality of all. Everything exists within us. We are this emptiness that embraces all things, so pure. The stars dwell within our vastness. Darkness and light dwell within our vastness. The sun, black holes, all dwell within us. Every wave, every sound, every movement dwells within our vastness. Yet we are untouched by any of it. We are free. We are this unmoving nature. We are a nature that never shifts, that never goes or comes, because there is nowhere to go, nowhere to come from. It is everything, and so it cannot move. When we imagine the moon appears in our awareness immediately. If we think of the sun appears right away. Why is that? It's not because we travel to the sun, but because the sun is already within us. Do you see? We are everything. The moment we think of something, it appears, because we are all of it. There's no need for distance, no need to travel. There is no movement, not even the tiniest particle. This space is utterly pure. You could call it stillness, but even stillness doesn't describe it, because it's not in a state of stillness. Yet it's not still either. Language simply cannot describe it. It is pure. It is beyond all conditions. The moment I awakened to this truth, everything shattered. All I could do was cry. But how do you explain this to a human being? We believe we are human, even though we never were. We have never truly been born. How can I express to you that you are the immortal element? We've never known that we are this pure element. What we've always lived with is ignorance. That's the real issue. The pure element is lacking knowledge of itself. We don't know we are the pure element because the pure element doesn't know itself as such. We cannot realize what we are unless we use a tool, a vehicle for seeing. It's like this. We are like the eyeball. An eyeball cannot know itself, but its characteristic is seeing. It sees everything, but the act of seeing is not the eyeball itself. Do you understand? The eye can never know itself unless there is this act, this quality of seeing. That's its nature, and what it sees are all external forms. Everything visible is simply what is seen. Just like we are seeing everything now, we are aware of everything now, but everything we are aware of, these images, these experiences, they are not us. They are not ours. Not a single thing belongs to us. Understand this deeply. When the life element finally accepts this truth, it explodes. Everything collapses and falls away from the mind. Then we'll realize, oh, how foolish we were. What were we clinging to? There is nothing that belongs to us. We became deluded by the masks we wear, lost in the container we've temporarily inhabited. We clung to the mask, to the tool itself, and when the truth is seen, tears fall. We realize just how foolish we've been. We hold within us the most precious thing, the mind, the pure life element. Yet we've never truly known the mind. We've never truly known this life element. We don't know that we are this very essence. Look at us. We've come to believe that we are merely human. We've become attached to this body, even though this body will soon perish. It's just like the eye. The eye cannot know itself as an eye, but its nature is to see, and there is always something seen. That is how it functions. If we only use these tools to help us realize what we truly are, if we rely on these faculties to see clearly, we might come to know. Without them, we cannot understand. So we must use them. Use the act of seeing to see the world, and then recognize all those things are just objects of sight. They are appearances. They are not us. Understand? We don't need to search the outer world or wander the universe or go deep into forests or caves. Those things are just more appearances, more things seen. Now let's turn inward. The act of seeing, it's merely an event, a phenomenon. It happens because there is an eyeball. We must understand this clearly, for only true understanding will lead us out of suffering. It's time for us to return to the original element, to return home, the true home. The eyeball makes use of the act of seeing to perceive images and forms, and all those things that are seen, without a doubt, they are not us. Now look more deeply. How does this act of seeing happen? It happens because of the original source, the elemental root. That's what gives rise to the seeing. Therefore, the act of seeing, this process itself, is certainly not us. Can you understand this? We are the eyeball. We can make use of the act of seeing to perceive things, but the seeing itself is not who we are. The eye uses the act of seeing to behold all things, and all those seen things are clearly not us. Now turn inward again. How does the act of seeing happen? It happens because of the original element, the root source. That's what allows seeing to arise. So even the act of seeing is not us. Do you understand? We are the eye. We use the seeing temporarily to perceive things, but the seeing is not us. If we see that the act of seeing is not us, then will we come to know that we are the eye itself? Will we realize we are the very eyeball? Yes, we will know we are the eye only when we rely on these things, when we rely on our own characteristics to realize that these are not us. That's why I say, remember this phrase well. Not us, not ours. I use this voice to speak to you, to let you know that even this voice is not ours. The mental images we dwell in are not our own. The emotions we experience, these too are not ours. Even the hearing that's happening now, it's just happening on its own. This too is not ours. These are not our experiences. They are simply functions, expressions of a deeper source. They are radiance emanating from the pure element. They are energy flowing outward from the pure source. This energy surges forth only to communicate, so that we may understand, none of this is me. And in understanding this, we begin to see that the original element, the pure source, cannot know itself without using these tools. That's the point. We've mistaken the tools for ourselves. We've clung to the fabrications, the identities, the masks. We've become lost in the language that we use to communicate. Now, as I've said, this body is clearly not ours. We are a supremely pure element. The pure element has no shape, no form, nothing at all. We are a nature that doesn't become anything. It dissolves into all things. It is radiant, clear, and boundless. This is the study of the mind, the knowledge of awakening to the mind. No one in this world teaches us this. So let us share this understanding with every person on earth. Regardless of religion, country, or culture, it doesn't matter. Everyone must study the mind. Everyone must learn to awaken to the mind, and we must do it quickly. Then we will be free from suffering, completely and permanently. We will live together on this earth in peace, in harmony, without harming one another. We will support each other, because we will finally see there is nothing that is me. The reason we harm and destroy one another is because we believe that this body is me. That's why we kill others, to preserve or improve this body, to chase after pleasure, to make this body strong and complete. We fight, we kill, we devour each other again and again. We seize land and resources, trying to make them ours. But in truth, there is nothing that is truly us, nothing that truly belongs to us. Write that down. Hang it on your wall. Because once we truly see that nothing is me, nothing is mine, we will live together in peace. We won't harm each other anymore. We'll support and help one another, fully, completely, for the last time. This life is merely a temporary use of a vessel, so we may come to know that we are the pure element. And once we truly realize this, we'll live in this world, helping one another. We'll teach and explain this truth to each other. We must begin teaching this from childhood, parents teaching their children, teachers guiding their students. Everyone must share the recordings from Tepanya Vimutti channel so that all may hear. Let them learn the science of the mind. Let them awaken to the mind. We have never truly been born into this world. Nothing here has ever been us or ours. We are that which is utterly pure, crystal clear, transparent and free. Once we realize this and study this wisdom, once we listen until my voice echoes in your mind, keep listening until you feel lighter and more open. The more you listen, the lighter you'll feel. The more you listen, the more ease you'll experience. Life will become simpler, more spacious, more free from suffering. Keep listening, feel the lightness, the spaciousness. Let the understanding settle. Keep following gently until the mind accepts. Understand, and keep understanding until the heart finally accepts. And the moment it accepts, it will explode. All delusions will collapse. Our ignorance will dissolve, and in its place will rise true knowing. This voice we rely on, it's not really our voice. It's just a phenomenon. The body has already been left behind. Now, what remains with the mind is a kind of energy, a force that bursts forth from our own consciousness. And the voice we now rely on, that's just one of its expressions. This voice is a manifestation of the mind, the voice that's speaking now, or the constant stream of thoughts running in our heads, the kind of thinking that many of us cling to until it turns into anxiety, into insomnia. those are just mental activities. But if we simply awaken inwardly, keep listening to the teachings, observe gently, follow along with openness and understanding, the heaviness begins to lift. It gets lighter, lighter, and lighter still, and one day it just falls away. We free ourselves from all this grasping, then we'll see clearly that none of it was ever truly us, and we might cry, but we won't suffer anymore. That's when true peace begins to blossom. The world becomes calm and harmonious. Everyone starts to understand the nature of all things. There's no more violence, no more competition, because no one sees anything as mine. There's nothing that truly belongs to anyone. We start to share, support each other, and live together in peace. Wouldn't we all like the world to be like that? Or do we prefer the way things are now? People hurting and destroying one another, clinging to what they call mine. But there is no mine. There never was. Because we've never truly existed in the way we thought. We were never actually born into this world in the way we imagined. Nothing has ever really belonged to us. What we truly are is this clear, pure essence within. In this place, there is nothing, nothing to hold on to, only purity. There is no form here that we can call us. Even this voice we rely on, it's not really us. It's just a phenomenon, something we happen to cling to. We've become attached to this voice, believing it to be who we are. It's like I've said before, the eye can never recognize itself as the eye. It needs the act of seeing. But once we understand that the act of seeing is not who we are, we suddenly realize we are the eye. In the same way, we'll come to realize we are this pure element once we can truly see this voice that speaks, this mind that thinks all day long. Can you see it? It thinks by itself. For example, what should I eat today? I don't feel like eating this. I'm tired of it. Maybe I'll buy some bananas and make banana cake. That voice in your mind, can you hear it? Or maybe you've thought, why hasn't anyone swept the floor? Why hasn't anyone done the dishes? Can you see how the voice keeps talking inside? Just notice it, the voice that's speaking, thinking, it's doing that on its own. That thinking, that speaking in the mind, it happens by itself. It's not who we are. See clearly, the voice that speaks within is not you. It is a natural process, an expression that functions on its own. It is an activity of the mind, an activity of consciousness that operates by itself. The voice is not you. It arises and functions by its own nature. The mental images we constantly imagine, those inner visualizations, are not ours either. They appear on their own. They too are tools that arise in conjunction with the mind. The mind, the life element, generates these things as part of its function. These expressions, whether voice or image, are qualities that naturally accompany the mind. They are not the mind itself. The mind is the origin element, the source. The expressions that radiate from it, these waves of energy, become thoughts, voices, images. Notice it carefully. It imagines on its own, and then the image dissolves on its own. The wave of sound energy becomes mental chatter, inner thinking. It arises on its own and fades away on its own. It thinks on its own. It dissolves on its own. It imagines on its own. It dissolves on its own. None of it is you, none of it is yours. Happiness is simply a wave of energy that arises from thought, from mental imagery. When things go according to those thoughts and images, there is pleasure. But why does that pleasure arise? Let it be. Just see it for what it is, a wave of energy arising as a pleasant feeling, and then dissolving on its own. A wave arises as sorrow, and then it too dissolves. A wave arises as satisfaction and fades. A wave arises as neutrality. It appears, then vanishes. All we need to do is observe from within. See these waves of energy rising and falling as emotions. They function on their own. Let it be. If joy arises, that's its business. If sadness arises, that's its business. These things have no self. No one owns them. All we need is understanding, to see them for what they are, natural phenomena. They've always been nature. We were the ones who became entangled, who became attached. When there is no attachment to sorrow, there is no suffering. When there is no attachment to happiness, there is no happiness. When there is no attachment to neutrality, it is no longer neutral. All becomes a natural state, free from all of these. Now, memory is just another process. It functions on its own. Even the act of perceiving, right now, as you hear my voice, it hears on its own. Do you see? It knows the scent on its own. It knows sound on its own. It knows visual forms on its own. This is the act of knowing. It knows through the eyes. It knows on its own. This is an act of knowing. It knows through the tongue. It tastes on its own. It knows through the body. It senses heat, cold, warmth, and touch on its own. These sensations arise and are known on their own. We do not need to try to hear the sound. It hears the sound on its own. So, where is the self? It's time to return home. There is nothing that is us, nothing that belongs to us. I am simply pointing the way back home. This is the truth. Can we accept it? It hears this voice on its own. It smells on its own. These functions occur naturally. See them clearly. The moment we see these functions working by themselves, where then is the self? In that moment, the mind awakens suddenly. We will witness the wonder of the mind. Everything we've ever clung to, it will shatter. The identity of being a human will dissolve completely, and we will realize we are clarity, we are purity that dissolves into the whole universe. That's all. Understand this deeply. This recording is very subtle and profound. Listen to it many times. You will awaken within. You will be free from suffering permanently. There is nothing that is us or ours. We have never truly been born into this world. We were merely lost in appearances. Understand this. It is now the right time to end here. To all of you who have listened to this recording, may you awaken in your heart. May you realize the truth of the life element, the pure element, swiftly and suddenly. May it be so for everyone. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.